Hey Blue Table Painting fans, John the art director here, and today we're going to talk to you about what you can expect from the art when you set up a project with Blue Table Painting.
One of the most important things you'll do when setting up a project with us is to select the painting levels for your miniatures. Right now we offer levels 2 through 8, 2 being the most basic and 8 being competition level painting. And we will be going into great detail in each one of these levels for you. So first we're going to talk a little bit about the Blue Table painting style. So John, the art director, will be explaining.
Blue Table Painting style is one that has changed in the past couple of years. We used to use primarily glazes, which were pretty good, but now we switched to a style where we use spray paints to create what we call an overspray and a shadow, and then dry brushing, flat brushing, and tinting with glazes still from there. And what that does is create many layers of highlighting and shading, with even the primers as the possible deep recesses, and so you may see the primer in your final paint job. And we feel it's a better product for the client, and it looks a lot better, and it's something more along the lines of what you would see from other places.
You see, when you use the overspray to create shadow and different gradative values, you'll hear Zane say that a lot in the videos. It actually creates a more realistic effect. You actually have a shadow, whereas in many other styles, you actually paint and highlight the entire model at every angle. So that's our goal. So we can paint in any style that you can think of. So you just have to request that. But if you do not request it, what you will get is the BTP style, which is what we just explained.
Level 2 is the first level. This level works best on masses of fantasy infantry such as skeletons, clan rats, ghouls, and orcs, or other 40k horde type infantry like orcs and chaos cultists. A level 2 has 2 levels of highlighting and or shading over the majority of the model. We pick 3 major fields to hit, such as cloth, metal, and bone, and everything else is left a suitable color. Other essential fields will be hit as well. An essential field is any field that would look off not being hit with a different color. Here on these skeletons, you can see the metal, bone, and cloth are picked out, and the wood and other fields are left an appropriate color. These clan rats have had their cloth, skin, and metal picked out, and the rest is left an appropriate color by the primer. These ghouls, being simple models, have had their skin, cloth, and eyes picked out. Normally eyes would not be hit at level 2, but in this case it applies. Level 3 is Blue Table Painting's tabletop standard. A level 3 will look good on the table in a group. On a level 3, all the major fields will be picked out. All of the essential details will also be picked out to do what we call breaking up the model, separating and making less monotonous the large fields of the model. Essential details include teeth, eyes, claws and fangs, tongues, icons, and belts. Level 3 has 3 layers of highlighting or shading over the majority of the model. So you can see on these Dark Angel Space Marines, the armor, gun casing are all hit as major fields, and the essential details are the purity seals, the icon on the gun and the chest and shoulder, and the eyes. Level 4 is kind of like a level 3 with extras. All the details will be picked out on a level 4 as well as all the fields. This can also be expected on all levels higher than a level 4. A level 4 will also have no visible slops. There will be 4 layers of highlighting and or shading over the majority of the model, and a level 4 will look good on its own at arm's length. Level 5 is the first of the hero levels. Level 5s will look good close up and have 5 layers of highlighting and or shading over the majority of the model. On this level, there will be absolutely no slops. This can be expected at all levels above level 5 as well. A level 5 will have smoother blending and be overall more impressive than lower levels. It should be easily picked out in a group of level 3s. Level 5s may come with a wow factor of some kind, whether that be freehand, weathering, object source lighting, non-metallic metals, or may just stand apart due to their increased highlighting, cleanliness, and smoothness. Level 6s are great for centerpiece models. They have 6 layers of highlighting and shading over the majority of the model. They come standard with some sort of increased basing, whether that be decorative, dynamic, or converted. Level 6s are even smoother than level 5s and are more likely to have a clear focal point. There will be more contrast in a level 6. Wow factors are far more common in level 6s as well. Details on level 6s start to have more complexity. Level 7 models are display quality models that are smoother still than level 6s. There are 7 layers of highlighting and or shading on the majority of the model, as well as more contrast and a defined focal point. Freehand and other wow effects will be used liberally. For basing, there are 6 standard basing options and 5 specialty basing options. Any of these choices can also be made decorative, typically with the addition of corking, slate, or sometimes dead enemies. Any other base would be considered custom. We also offer a variety of cast resin bases, or will paint any base you send in. The 6 standard basing options are rubble, deadlands, snow, grasslands, desert, and battlefield. The 5 specialty basing options are tundra, swamp, lava, urban rubble, and forest.
So BTP has some standard practices, and all these can be changed at request, but in the meantime, this is what we do. So flight stands, we already talked in the assembly video, we dowel them. We also prime them black. So the clear plastic flying stands, we just prime them over in black. So that is something very important you need to know. If you want that different, you can request it to just be clear, and we can tape it over and not have to prime the clear rod. Another thing that we do is on flyers and other vehicles that apply, we leave the cockpit clear so you can see the inside and the pilot. In the past, it's actually been the reverse. Our standard was to spray over and paint the glass, but we're now doing it clear. All banners are going to get some sort of decal or freehand. The higher level you go, the more complex that will be. It just makes sense. With the heroes, have banners going to be better than a regular guy with a banner. Likewise, tanks also will get freehand if they're level 3 and above. And these, like I said, when it's low level, level 3 or 4, you might not get something complex, but once you get to level 6 or 7, you can for sure know that you're going to get something cool on your tank. Let's see, we dot our gun barrels and chimney stacks and any other like structure, so we just blacken it so it looks realistic. What else do we do? Oh, we dot facing markers for War Machine and hordes. We put little dots on the 180 degree marks. And I think that's it.
Yep, those are all the standard practices we have, and as he said, any of those can be different by request. Freehand budget is something that can be added to any project, and we will work within the budget you give us to add freehand to particular models that you specify or throughout the entirety of the army at the artist's discretion. And those could be used to add things to shoulder pads, banners, anything you can think of from script on armor to really cool icon or mural even on a tank. The complexity is up to you and your budget, really. And alternatively, decal can also be used in a similar sort of fashion to add those icons to your army.
Now, we're talking about a budget that is above and beyond our standard.
Right.
So for a level 5 tank, we would normally put something on there anyways. If you give us a budget, we'll make it that much better.
And obviously, as stated in the standard practices section of this video, the freehand scales with the level. So the higher the level of something that is getting freehand, the more complex the freehand.
All right, thank you very much, BTP fans, for watching this video. We hope it was instructive and that you now know what you can expect when you commission us. So yeah, we're happy to have you all as customers and friends, and yeah.
And also, things explained in this video are very broad. So if you have a custom or cool idea, don't hesitate to inquire about it, because custom and cool is our business.
Mm-hmm.